There's a number Congress moved, and most people never felt it happen. Back in 1983, lawmakers raised the age when you can collect your full Social Security check. That's the federal retirement program you pay into every time you get a paycheck. They pushed it from 65 to 67. Looks small on paper. In practice, it's one of the quietest benefit cuts in American history, and it helps explain why nearly 1 in 5 Americans over 65 is still on the clock. For a lot of them, it isn't about loving the job. The math simply changed. For most of the 20th century, the deal was simple. You worked for one company, you got a pension, a monthly check your employer promised to pay you for life, and at 65, you handed in your badge. Social Security, created back in 1935, topped it off. 65 became the finish line, almost a national default. Then the deal fell apart. Companies decided lifetime pensions were too expensive and too risky, so they swapped them out. In came the 401k and the IRA, retirement savings accounts, where you put in your own money and you carry the risk. No guaranteed check for life. Two more things stacked on top. People started living longer, which means paying for more years of not working. And Congress nudged that full retirement age towards 67, which quietly shrank the lifetime value of everyone's benefit. Put it together and you get a squeeze. The Government Accountability Office, the investigative arm of Congress, has found that roughly half of households headed by someone 55 or older have nothing saved in a retirement account at all. Nothing. So when the paycheck was supposed to stop, a lot of Americans found they still needed it. In 2000, about 13% of people 65 and up were still working. Today, it's around 19%. And for the 65 to 69 crowd, it's roughly 1 in 3. Here's where working past 65 gets strange, because it can actually cost you money to earn money, at least for a while. Say you claimed Social Security early before your full retirement age and you're still working. The government runs something called the earnings test. In 2026, if you're under full retirement age for the whole year, you can earn up to $24,480. Go over that, and Social Security holds back $1 of your benefit for every $2 you earn above the line. In the year you actually reach full retirement age, the rules loosen up, the limit jumps to $65,160, and they only hold back $1 for every $3 you earn over it. And once you pass full retirement age, the earnings test disappears completely. Nothing gets held back. One thing worth clearing up: this limit only counts money you earn from working, wages or self-employment, a pension, 401k withdrawals, rental income, investment gains. None of that counts against you. The test is aimed at the paycheck, not your savings. And here's the part that trips people up. That withheld money isn't gone. It's not a penalty. When you reach full retirement age, Social Security recalculates and gives it back to you as a higher monthly check. So the earnings test feels like a tax, but it's really more of a delay. If you wait to claim at all, the system pays you to hold off. For every year you delay past your full retirement age up to age 70, your benefit grows by 8%. Wait from 67 to 70, and your check is 24% bigger for the rest of your life. Those are called delayed retirement credits. There's a quieter bonus too, because your benefit is based on your 35 highest earning years. A strong year now can replace a weak one from decades ago and nudge your check up. For comparison, the average retired worker's benefit in 2026 is about $2,070 a month, just under $25,000 a year. Not a fortune, which is exactly why those extra dollars matter. So who actually benefits when millions of Americans keep working past 65? Follow the money, and 3 players show up. Start with the government. Every dollar you earn from a job, you keep paying into the system, even at 70, even at 80. That's the payroll tax. 6.2% of your wages goes to Social Security, another 1.45% goes to Medicare, and your employer matches it. In 2026, Social Security taxes your wages up to a cap of $184,500. So an older worker is a double win for the trust funds. Money flowing in, and if they're holding off on their benefit, money not yet flowing out. A retiree who keeps working is one of the best things that can happen to Social Security's balance sheet. Then there are employers, experienced workers who already know the job, often willing to go part-time, sometimes willing to trade a full benefits package for flexible hours. For a company, that can be a bargain. Some of the fastest growth in older employment is in part-time, contract, and gig work. Arrangements that frequently come with no health insurance, no paid leave, and no retirement match. The worker gets a paycheck. The employer gets skilled labor without the full cost of a younger hire. And the worker, they get the wages, the delayed benefit boost, and often something harder to price, routine, purpose, a reason to get up. But they also carry most of the risk. If their health holds and the job lasts, working longer pays off. If it doesn't, the plan falls apart fast, and there's no employer pension standing behind them anymore. That risk used to sit on companies, pooled across thousands of people. Now it sits on you. You can see the shape of it in the numbers. A decade ago, a little over 8 million Americans over 65 were working. By early 2025, that figure had climbed past 11 million, a jump of more than a third in 10 years. Surveys keep finding the same split underneath. Asked why they're still at it, the most common answer by a wide margin is money, covering everyday bills, paying down debt, stretching thin savings. A smaller but real group would keep working even if the money were handled for the structure and the connection. The trickiest bill when you work past 65 isn't taxes, it's health coverage. And getting Medicare wrong here can cost you for the rest of your life. Medicare is the federal health insurance program for people 65 and older. It comes in parts. Part A covers hospital stays and is free for almost everyone because you already paid for it through those payroll taxes. Part B covers doctor visits and outpatient care, and it charges a monthly premium. Part D covers prescription drugs. Here's the catch when you're still working. Whether you need to sign up at 65 depends on the size of your employer. If your company has 20 or more employees, your work insurance stays primary. It pays first. And you can usually delay Part B with no penalty, then sign up later when you retire using a special window Medicare gives you. But if your employer has fewer than 20 employees, Medicare becomes your primary insurance the moment you turn 65. Skip Part B, and your work plan may stop covering big chunks of your bills, and you get hit with a late penalty that adds 10% to your Part B premium for every year you delayed. That penalty isn't a one-time thing. It's permanent. It follows you for life. One more trap. If you have a health savings account, an HSA, the tax-friendly account tied to certain high-deductible plans, you have to stop putting money into it once you enroll in any part of Medicare. Many don't learn it until they've already broken the rule. So who pays? While you're working, your employer plan and Medicare split the bill in an order set by those size rules. But the people who get burned are the ones who assumed Medicare would just wait for them. The sticker numbers are only part of the story. The real costs of working past 65 tend to hide in the fine print. Start with taxes on your own benefit. A lot of people don't realize their Social Security check can be taxed. Once your combined income climbs high enough and a paycheck on top of your benefit pushes it up fast, as much as 85% of your Social Security can become taxable. So the extra work income can quietly drag part of your benefit into the tax bracket with it. Then there's the earnings test surprise. Social Security sometimes holds back whole checks at once instead of trimming a little each month, so someone can open the mailbox expecting a payment and find nothing. The money comes back later, but the shock is real. There's the job market itself. Working past 65 assumes you can find and keep the work, and older workers consistently report that landing a new job is harder and slower once employers can see their age. The plan to just keep working only holds if someone will hire you. And there's the body. The math of working longer quietly assumes your health cooperates. For plenty of people, it doesn't. The jobs that are physically hardest are often the ones held by workers who saved the least. The exact people who most need those extra years and are least able to pull them off. None of this shows up in a tidy chart, but it's the difference between a plan that works and one that only worked on paper. Step back, and the incentives line up in a clear direction. The system now rewards you for working longer and quietly nudges you away from stopping early. Look at how it's built. Raising the full retirement age towards 67 didn't take benefits away on paper, but claim at the old age of 65 now, and you collect a permanently smaller check. That's a benefit cut wearing a polite disguise. Meanwhile, the delayed retirement credits dangle an 8% a year raise in front of anyone who can afford to wait. Reward on one end, penalty on the other. Both point the same way: work more, claim later. Who benefits from that design? The Social Security trust funds, which take in more and pay out later. Employers, who get a deep pool of experienced part-time labor. And higher earners in comfortable desk jobs, who can actually take the deal. Wait until 70. Bank the bigger check. Live long enough to enjoy it. Who carries the risk? Lower wage workers in tougher jobs, who tend to have worse health and shorter lives and often can't wait. So they claim early, take the smaller check, and collect it for fewer years. And the pressure only builds. The baby boomers are aging into this all at once. People are living longer, and there are fewer younger workers paying in behind them. That strains the whole system heading toward 2030 and beyond, which is a big reason work a little longer has quietly become the country's unofficial retirement policy. Not a decision anyone voted on, just the shape the incentives took. So what does working past 65 really deliver? For some people, a lot. If your health holds, your job lasts, and you can afford to delay your benefit, the payoff is real. A bigger check for life, more savings, and years of purpose on top. The system is genuinely built to reward that, but it only works cleanly for the people best positioned to use it. The math assumes a cooperating body, a willing employer, and enough cushion to wait. And millions of Americans have none of those things. For them, working past 65 isn't a strategy. It's what's left when the savings ran short and the pension never existed. Here's the real shift. Retirement used to be a stage of life the country promised to fund. Now, more and more, it's a bill you're expected to keep paying down with your own labor for as long as your body will let you. The finish line didn't just move. For a lot of people, it quietly disappeared. If this helped the numbers make a little more sense, you can like the video and subscribe. We keep digging into where the money really goes as America grows older.